Hello, so my name's Ollie Noakes and I'm Head of Metrology here at Hill. Up to this point, we've been looking at what we would do in the future for ERP systems and MES systems. So systems that allow us to track parts and their processes throughout the manufacturing cycle. At this point, that's a big investment. So what we've been doing is looking at what we could do ourselves in the interim to define these processes properly. So there's some key goals we want to get from this. We want to be able to define routes for parts and processes throughout the system. So by routes, we mean the different operations that a part will go through its life cycle, from bringing in the billets, cutting them to size, cleaning up and machining back, to the inspection processes, and then the final packing, deburr and assembly, if that's where that piece is going. So what we've been doing is using a small database system a platform that we've got here, and we've been building up a sort of development environment where we can start to define these processes and build our own bespoke system. So this system here has allowed us to start to build some job tracking. So now we can very quickly see what jobs that we've got on, and for each of the jobs there we can see which ops stage they're at. So I can see quickly here that I've got a couple in inspection, we've got some parts that are due for part marking out there, we've got some that are due to go to stores. This is a really quick view into what's happening out on the manufacturing floor. It also gives us much deeper information about what's going to happen. So we've got parts on the machine at the moment behind me, and I can see the processes here that the part's been through, and that the current stage here, this op 10, is what's happening behind me on the machine. So the part's going through the measurement. Once this measurement's complete, we'll then add the data for the outputs to this op stage, and then that's nicely tracked and logged so that at any point in the future we can come back to this. One of the things this also does is gives us the ability to automatically generate the serial numbers for parts. So since we've now got the new laser etch machine, we can use this to generate the serial numbers when we raise a job. Those parts are then etched with this serial number, and we have that permanent link back to any part that's been made. With this serial number, we generate a dot matrix, and that is the code that is then etched onto the part. So you can see on here, we have both a dot matrix code and the serial number of the part. So this is now happening for every part that we've got that's been manufactured. This tool now is currently something we're developing continuously as we're going, and we're going to build some more functionality into this that's just going to optimize all the workflows and processes that we've got. So what we've got here is the new laser etching machine. This is a really great bit of kit, something that we've really needed, because if we're going to start to create this jobbing system, we need to be able to identify those parts and know what they are. So one of the first processes the parts go through is laser etching. So we talked about the development system that we're building at the moment. One of the pieces of the work we're doing is to integrate this with this machine. So at the moment, we've integrated this save serial number button, which allows us to open a job, save the serial number down, which then will populate the serial number and code into the software that runs this machine. What we can do with this is then light this and identify on the part where we want this to take the etch. So we can line it up and get the parts in the right place. Going forwards, we'll make jigs specifically for each part, so that it's a quick process. They can just go onto a jig, open the program for the etch, press go, and all the information will be put onto the part. Once we've aligned this all up and we want to then run the etching, what we can do is just press either the cycle or run the marking, and we can then watch as the laser will go through and create the mark with the serial number and the dot matrix code. So if we clean this up, what we can see on there now, really nice logo. We've got the serial number, batch ID, and the part number within the serial code. We've also got this dot matrix code. Now this is a standard way of identifying information within a part system. So I can read this just with an iPhone now. So I've just scanned that, and we now have an identification for this block that relates back to the ERP system that we're developing at the same time. This process is really important for certification. So when the helicopters are in the air, it's really important that we know every single part on that helicopter, and being able to etch this on there permanently will allow us to trace back the parts through each process it's been through all the measurement data that we've collected on it, and for any testing that part has been through.